collateral-free automatic loan for MSMEs, which is being provided. This will give facility up to 3 lakh crores, for whom 25 crore is the outstanding loan, or 100 crores whose turnover is, will benefit from this. These loans will have a 4-year tenure, and there will be a moratorium given for 12 months. These are going to be 100% credit guaranteed over as a cover given to banks and NBFCs on principal and interest. I come to talking about subordinate debt, through which we want to infuse about 20,000 crores. These are meant for stressed MSMEs. 2 lakh MSMEs are likely to benefit from this. The functioning of the MSMEs which are NPA or are stressed, all of them will be eligible. There is a fund of fund being created for infusing about 50,000 crore as equity into the MSMEs. This will benefit those MSMEs who have the potential and who are viable. Now what we are coming with is a change in the definition of MSME, so that they need not worry about growing in size. They will still be able to get quite a lot of benefits which otherwise, as an MSME, they had got. That for government procurement, tenders up to 200 crores will no longer be on global tender route, meaning global tenders will be disallowed in government procurement for tenders up to 200 crores. Post-COVID, trade fairs, exhibitions are going to be very difficult. So we shall ensure that e-market linkage is provided across the board for all these MSMEs, so that they're able to find their market easily in the absence of being able to participate in trade fairs which cannot be held in this environment. Also, very importantly, Government of India and also CPSEs, where there are receivables by MSMEs, we now announce that within the next 45 days, all their receivables will be cleared. You were aware during the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package, some measures were extended for the EPF. In that, we had said units which have 100 workers, 90% of whom are earning less than 15,000 rupees, will be able to draw from their EPF from the funds, because they needed money in their hands. We have now, and for the 3 months, the payment of EPF also was given relaxation. June, July, and August 2020, the EPF contribution will be paid by Government of India, and this shall provide 2,500 crore liquidity support. So what was given earlier for March, April, and May is now being extended for another 3 months. The second one in EPF now is the statutory PF contribution, for those who are not covered in the earlier one, is being reduced from 12% to 10%. So for the next 3 months, employers need to pay only 10% and not 12%, so that they will have some more money in their hands. However, for the central public sector enterprises and for state PSUs, we will continue to pay 12%. So this reduction is not for the government. Government of India now launches a 30,000 crore special liquidity scheme. Under the scheme, investment will be made in both primary and secondary market transactions, where investment grade debt papers, this is not infusing equity, this is taking and buying debt papers of NBFCs, housing finance corporations, and microfinance institutions, and not high quality debt papers, they can be investment quality also. So this we expect will have an impact on those struggling NBFCs who need money to carry on with business. And these NBFCs are also those who have been funding MSMEs. So, in order for these NBFCs to keep their network of MSMEs served, this infusion is absolutely necessary. And these securities with which you're going to buy these debt papers will be fully guaranteed by Government of India. 45,000 crore liquidity infusion through a partial credit guarantee scheme for the NBFCs in particular. This is an existing scheme, but we are expanding its scope. Expanding its scope only because it will now cover borrowings such as primary bond issued, the commercial papers. So all these will constitute the liability side of the balance sheet, but we are getting into that area also. But in this case, as different from the previous one, 20%, the first 20% loss alone will be borne by the guarantor, which is Government of India. We've reached a stage where discoms don't have money because they're sitting with receivables. So we are now making a provision, a one-time provision for PFCs and RECs to infuse that money into the discoms against their receivables, and who in turn, this will be done with the state issuing guarantees. We want the benefit to be passed on to the customer. We are in fact telling the central public sector generation companies that they shall give rebate to those discoms which shall pass these benefits to the final customer. All Government of India agencies, such as the railways, road transport, highways, CPW, etc., will now give 6 months extension without any cost to the contractors, so that extension should cover construction work or goods and services contracts that they have with central government agencies. They can take additional 6 months to comply with the contract conditions. In the real estate matter, the Urban Development Ministry shall issue advisory to the states and the union territories so that the regulatory authorities are given clear picture that they can treat the COVID-19 period as an event where you can invoke the force measure. In other words, they can treat it as an act of God, and to that extent be flexible about the execution of the contract signed. This will also mean that with the necessary changes, they will have to issue fresh project registration certificates. They can extend the registration and the completion dates. Suo motu, they can do it by 6 months for all registered projects, expiring on or before 25th March 2020. We have now, from, let us say, tomorrow till 31st March 2021, reduced the TDS rates and the TCS rates by 25% of the existing rate. So if the existing rate is 100, it will be reduced by 25%. This shall apply to all payments, if they are payment for contracts or professional fees or interest or rent or dividend or commission or brokerage. All of these will be eligible for this 25% rate reduction.